Whoa, check this out. Hotshot Racing. Not to be confused with the Hotshots Golf/Tennis series on PlayStation. It is a retro-inspired arcade racer, very inspired by the 90s classics like Daytona USA, Outrun, and even other games like the Sonic racing games. Why? Well, it's developed by Sumo Digital and Lucky Mountain Games. Like Sumo Digital's previous games, this is an arcade-style racer that is all about the drifting. Drifting is one of the key things you need to nail right when it comes to this type of racer, as it is the core to how you approach these tracks and how you decide what car to use. The game sports some really cool low-poly visuals, but manages to make them look very pleasing to the eye. And it has a clear, cohesive visual focus, as in it all looks like it belongs together, with both its graphics, music, and overall style. Because this game is all about the drifting and management of your speed and steering, it actually becomes very easy to trigger and control. You can snap out of a drift just as quickly as you came into it. What this results in is a very tight and tense moments while you race trying to manage and maintain your speed and position against the other racers. There are 16 tracks, all divided among 4 Grand Prix that you can select from. Each of the 4 Grand Prix also come with 3 difficulties to clear. You have 8 characters to choose from, all from different parts of the world, and each of these characters has 4 cars to choose from, ranging from a standard car build to 3 builds focused more on acceleration, speed, and drifting. You know, I gotta say, I really like that this game has a cast of characters. It's not very often you see in racing games where you have an actual cast of different characters with personalities and backgrounds and even a story. It's kind of rare in these kind of games. Normally it's like a nameless driver or someone you customize yourself. So, props there. And actually, because of that, it kind of adds to this game's charm and just the world in general. The racing in the game can be quite challenging, as these racers have the same level of aggression I used to see in games like F-Zero, or hell, even Horizon Chase Turbo, which is another game wielding this low-poly look, though mechanically a pretty different racing game. But the game can feel slippery or stiff at first if you haven't gotten the hang of controlling your car, but even playing through the game for the first time, it didn't take long to pick up on what I was supposed to do as I was racing through the tracks. So there is a learning curve, the learning curve is pretty small comparatively. Keeping myself close to the pack was important in building up the boost meter, which is very similar to games like Burnout. In these races, it's all about finding the right sweet spots and building up that boost meter so you can unleash its fury upon the land as blistering comet of death. But maintain that speed, or you lose it rapidly. I don't know if the game has some strong rubber banding, or if the drafting mechanic is just that useful. The drafting mechanic in this game is very similar to what you see in kart racers like Team Sonic Racing or Mario Kart, where driving right behind another racer will give you a small boost in speed, just enough to catch up and maybe even overtake. But during this game, the AI is very, very up your ass, very close to you, very aggressive in trying to take you down. So I don't know if that's the rubber banding or if the draft mechanic and catch-up mechanics in general are just really strong in this game. Because these cars are actually characters that you can imagine, I like to just picture that these aggressive AI assholes are actually just these characters being really mad at me for whatever reason and really don't want me to win. Maybe I can just headcanon a grudge, you know? And that grudge can just help me win these races. Take that aggression and just use it as energy and just boost, you know? Or is that just me? During races, there's also a checkpoint system which was pretty common in these types of races back in the day. It's how they robbed you of your quarters at an arcade machine. Even if you weren't last place, not making the checkpoint in time meant an automatic fail. Single-player arcade racing is a genre if you didn't know. Oldies like Pole Position and even F-Zero fall into this subgenre. Speaking of multiplayer though, the game does support 4-player split screen and online. And the online, while fully functional, is a bit bare, but The game is very new and fresh, so maybe it will become more populated over time. The Grand Prix is the main mode of the game, allowing you to compete in 4 races against the AI. As you win races, you will earn cash to unlock some of the many customization items, whether that be your racer's suit or one of their cars. And all the cars are customizable. There's plenty to unlock and see. You even unlock more customization items just by playing the car over time in races. You complete little objectives and achievements for each character. Other modes involve cops and robbers, where you race away from the cop to collect cash at different checkpoints. Or if you happen to be the cop, smash and drain the health bar of the robbers to make them explode. Yeah, they literally blow up. I mean, speaking of that, there's also a bomb elimination racing mode, where you must keep up the minimum speed as you race or you will just explode and lose. It's kind of crazy, but really fun. Finishing in first place of the Grand Prix will reward you with an ending of sorts to your character. So each of these wacky peeps have their own little background and ending to see if it's something you're curious about. In conclusion, the game just feels fantastic. Arcade racers are always a coin flip for me, but due to the game's unique visual style, it caught my eye immediately, and it really felt good to play. I mean, it played as good as it looked. Well, that is if the visuals even do it for you to begin with. I know it is a kind of a style to its own. Either way, I know this is going to be a racer I keep coming back to. So overall, I highly recommend it. It's very fun, very intense, and if you want something that is quick to jump in and out of, that also involves some stylish arcade racing action, this is it, my peeps. Thanks for watching. See you next time for, I don't know, anything I come up with. Bye.